Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 2, Text 13. Ataha Pumbihi Dvijashreshtaha Varnasrama Vibhagashaha Svanusthitasya Dharmasya Sansiddhihi Harihi Toshanam Atha Pumbir Dvija Shrestha Varnasrama Vibhagashaha Svanusthitasya Dharmasya Sansiddhir Hari Toshanam Atha Pumbir Dvija Shrestha Varnasrama Vibhagashaha Svanusthitasya Dharmasya Sansiddhir Hari Toshanam Atha Pumbir Dvija Shrestha Varnasrama Vibhagashaha Svanusthitasya Dharmasya Sansiddhir Hari Toshanam
Atha Pumbir Dvija Shrestha Varnashrama Vibhagashaha Svanusthitasya Dharmasya Samsiddhir Hari Toshanam
Atha Pumbir Dvija Shrestha Varnashrama Vibhagashaha Svanusthitasya Dharmasya Samsiddhir Hari Toshanam
Atha Pumbir Dvija Shrestha Varnashrama Vibhagashaha Svanusthitasya Dharmasya Samsiddhir Hari Toshanam
Atha Pumbir Dvija Shrestha Varnashrama Vibhagashaha
Svanusthitasya Dharmasya
Samsiddhir Hari Toshanam
Ataha So Pumbihi by the human being Dvija Shresthaha O best among the twice born Varnasrama the institution of four castes and four orders of life Vibhagashaha by the division of Svanusthitasya of one's own prescribed duties Dharmasya occupational Sansiddhihi the highest perfection Hari the personality of Godhead Toshanam pleasing. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. O best among the twice born, it is therefore concluded that the highest perfection one can achieve by discharging the duties prescribed for one's own occupation according to caste divisions and orders of life is to please the personality of Godhead. Purport. Human society all over the world is divided into four castes and four orders of life. The four castes are the intelligent caste, the martial caste, the productive caste, and the laborer caste. These castes are classified in terms of one's own work and qualification and not by birth. Then again, there are 4 orders of life, namely the student life, the householder life, the retired and devotional life. In the best interest of human society, there must be such divisions of life. Otherwise, no social institution can grow in a healthy state. And in each and every one of the above mentioned divisions of life, the aim must be to please the supreme authority of the personality of Godhead. This institutional function of human society is known as the system of Varnashram Dharma, which is quite natural for the civilized life. The Varnashram institution is constructed to enable one to realize the absolute truth. It's not for artificial domination of one division over another. When the aim of life, that is realization of the absolute truth, is missed by too much attachment for indriya priti or sense gratification, as already discussed herein before, the institution of the Varnashram is utilized by selfish men to pose an artificial predominance over the weaker section. In the Kali Yuga, or in the age of quarrel, this artificial predominance is already current, but the saner section of the people know it well, that the divisions of caste and orders of life are meant for smooth social intercourse and high thinking, self-realization, and not for any other purpose. Here in the statement of Bhagavatam is that the highest aim of life, or the highest perfection of the institution of Varnashram Dharma, is to cooperate jointly for the satisfaction of the Supreme Lord. This is also confirmed in Bhagavad Gita 4.1.3. In Srimad, it's confirmed in Bhagavad Gita 4.13. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamini Iti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktavrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Atha Pumbir Dvija Shrestha Varnashrama Vibhagashaha Svanushthitasya Dharmasya Sangsidir Haritoshanam. O best among the twice born, it is therefore concluded that the highest perfection one can achieve by discharging the duties prescribed for one's own occupation according to caste divisions and orders of life is to please the personality of Godhead. Srimad Bhagavatam here is speaking about the Varnashram institution. We notice that whenever the Supreme Personality of Godhead descends in his avatar, there is always a Varnashram system, especially when he's participating in human society, like his original incarnation as Krishna, or when he comes as Lord Ram, Varaha, any other form. Also when Acharyas descend, they descend in such a way that they support the Varnashram. They don't remove it, nor do they ignore it. They follow it. Even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he descended, Krishna descended as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he supported the Varnashram institution and propagated it. So now, but nowadays, due to previous misuse and exploitation, no one likes to speak or propagate Varnashram Dharma. However, this is given in Shastra. First thing is that this the institution is already there. Krishna says, I created it. Supreme Personality of Godhead himself created these divisions, and we will see them everywhere. Everywhere there will be an intellectual class who are guiding the society, wrongly or rightly, but they are there, and they'll be preoccupied with ideas, philosophies, and thoughts for the direction of human society. Then you will have a martial class. There will be people who will be ruling, governing, and inclined for that, and fighting, That will be there in any society. And then you'll have a group of people who are good at business, and they'll be controlling the trade, and that also they'll be farming. Trade, farming, should be cow protection also. And then you have a class who are not inclined to any of these three, so they'll be helping the others. And they'll be good at that, following orders. So these divisions are there, they're already there everywhere. But the Vedas seek to train each of them to do their role properly in such a way that the whole society works like a machine. There's a machine in a car which makes the car move. But for that to happen, everything has to work properly. So the society, human society, there's a function in this material world. There's a purpose. Everything is not just there. Everyone is here and making their own plan. Now, I'll work, I'll earn money, I'll build this, I'll do that. But we have to ask, what is the plan? This world has a plan, human society has a plan. The plan is that the jiva in this society will become purified. For that, there has to be a certain order within the society that should be there. There should be certain ruler who will be ruling a certain way. And there should be good economy. Economy means spreading the resources for everyone. Everyone should have resources. Okay, then governance and ideas should be properly understood. That the direction of the human society should be understood. Its proper function should be overseen by some intellectual people. That is the purpose. That the jiva should be in this society and eventually should become purified of his material desires. Or at least until that point, he should be guided to follow Vedic injunctions according to his guna and karma. Karma means what he likes to do, and guna means his qualities. What are his qualities? So now, this is the Varnashram system. This is the purpose of the human society. Everyone should be in their role in such a way that the whole society functions properly. The resources should be spread around, so whoever's in charge of that should do that properly. Someone should be seeing that the roles are properly followed, governance, and adharma is curtailed. That person should be doing that. A class should be studying the Vedas and studying all these injunctions to see that everything is going properly. This is the purpose. So now some people say there is no purpose. That's because they don't know the purpose. If we don't know the purpose, we cannot say there is no purpose. There is a purpose that is given in Shastra. The Vedic injunctions that we are supposed to live by, this is not a choice. Some people think, oh, Varnashram, we cannot do it now. Oh, it's difficult now. Look at the situation in the modern world. It's not up to us. It's not up to anyone. It's up to Krishna, up to God. So the Vedas have said, now you may say, I don't care about the Vedas. I'm living my life, I'm earning my money, what about the Vedas? But what we understand from the Vedas themselves, there's one, well, many verses are there, particularly one I'll read out, right here in this first canto, chapter 13, text 42. So, the verse says, Yatha gavo nasi protha stantyam badhascha dhamabhi vaktantyam namabhir badha vahanti balim ishituhu. Translation: as a cow bound through the nose by a rope is conditioned, so also human beings are bound by different Vedic injunctions and are conditioned to obey the orders of the Supreme. Conditioned, this word comes here, conditioned. And it's taken from here, baddha. So, baddha, conditioned, means that the cow cannot decide, I want to go here or there, I want to do this or that. His existence is under certain conditions. The condition is where the rope is pulling, he has to go. That's the condition. So similarly, we are bound by Vedic injunctions according to our guna and karma. It is actually compulsory. It is compulsory. We have to. We have to follow the Vedas. It's not a choice. Even according to our guna karma, we have to follow. And according to our ashram, we must follow. There was a time people followed dharma so perfectly. They were afraid of transgressing dharma. And at some time they were confused, what is their dharma that second? Then they stopped and tried to ascertain it properly by consulting.
Brahmanas.
Yeah, consulting brahmanas or pandits. At the present moment, no one does that and no one cares. So we may think, oh, those people were not intelligent, they were following everything. Now we are independent and free people. But actually, we are now under Maya and material laws. So in the purport, Prabhupada explains about this situation, that people who decide, I'm not going to follow the Vedas, I'm not going to follow my injunctions according to my varna, guna, karma, people who decide that, they come under different laws. They come under severe, harsh laws to punish them. This is called material life. Why are we suffering? Why are we getting floods? Why are families not able to keep together? Why are women not protected in society? At the present moment, crimes against women so heavy, severe. Crimes against children, weaker section of society. So many leaders of society are corrupt. People are suffering under leaders. And general criminal tendency is so bad. And family is supposed to be the shelter. But now many crimes happen, first thing they look at the family members. First thing. And usually the crime is committed by someone they know. And it's either family, I mean, your own husband or wife is going to kill you. If not, then the mother kills you. Abortion. It used to be that, when someone is under some danger, at the young age, normally they'll cry for the mother. Mother is the shelter. Mother is the protection. Mother is the guru. But now the mother is killing. Then where will you go? If the mother is killing the child, or the father is killing the child. So much suffering. But we're not asking why. Why is that? We are not following the rules, the laws of society. Material life means that these people who did not come under the Vedas, now they'll be subject to these laws of material suffering. In the purport of this verse given by Srila Prabhupada, he says, this verse I said that as the cow is conditioned by rope, so we are conditioned by the Vedas. Now when the cow cannot decide, I won't follow, he has to follow where the rope is pulling. So we, according to, when we make a decision about our economic situation, work or social aspect, family, social, economic or political, anything, decision has to be based on the Veda. What is the Veda saying? We have to follow that. If we don't do that, then we are breaking the law and we must suffer. Just like in this country, there are laws, if we break it, we must suffer. You cannot say, I live separately, I don't want to follow this law. Then you have to leave the country, maybe. Or if you stay here, you will suffer. You'll go. So here in the purport it's written, every living being, whether man or animal or bird, thinks he is free by himself. But actually, no one is free from the severe laws of the Lord. The laws of the Lord are severe because they cannot be disobeyed in any circumstance. We may escape these man-made laws. Someone does traffic violation and escapes that law. Yeah, but we cannot escape these laws. We cannot. There is not the slightest possibility of neglecting the laws. And here, a slight change from the course of the God-made law can bring a massive danger to be faced by the lawbreaker. Okay, now I'll give one aspect. Okay, now there's a lot of problems on crimes against women. So now they're thinking, how should we solve that problem? We should bring more police. We should teach people. We should bring heavy penalties. But one thing you notice, the people doing these laws, it's not that they don't know it's wrong, whatever wrong they do. They know it's wrong. They know, whoever does. That's why they do it silently or hiding or they run away, isn't it? So the issue is not they don't know it's wrong, but Why are they doing these crimes? Now, it is understood that the jiva, the people, have the tendency for doing wrong things. So there's certain checks and balances in society. Previously, women were protected at every stage of life. At every stage, there was some male member next to them. They'll never go around alone like this. There'll always be some class of people who are fallen, and there'll always be a risk for children, for women. So there was a system, that was the law, and these injunctions and laws were in the Vedas, and they were now neglected. And so such heavy reactions are coming. Problems have come in society. Bhagavad Gita explains that we should farm. Farming should be there. Krishi, Goraksha, Vanijyam. That's not happening. So now lack of food, high food prices. So whichever aspect we see. Also, we had divisions of society. One of the divisions was Kshatriyas. So Kshatriyas were trained from young age to rule. And so whoever was ruling was expert at ruling. They will rule the whole planet, one person. How? Expert. As we mentioned, now we cannot rule even one country. It's difficult. How? What's going on there? Things are happening we don't know. So train, everyone should be trained. Now, a slight change from the course of God-made law can bring massive danger, massive upheaval in the society. We've seen that. Such laws of the Supreme are generally known as codes of religion under different conditions. But the principle of religion everywhere is the same. Principles of religion are the same. We call different religions, but they all give the same law. Obey the orders of the Supreme God and the codes of religion. So now, these laws are supposed to take us to some proper order, and this society should function like a machine. In a car, the car will move if everything is working properly. So if this material society, this world is working properly, everyone does their duty properly, then society will function and people will be able to practice bhakti and advance. But if we don't follow these rules, like this verse is speaking about Varnasrama, and people just did away with Varnasrama, so now the suffering is much more. Chaos, the economic situation, people are not getting food, people are starving to death in some parts of this world. And some people are getting super rich, even though they have money. So the economic system is wrong. And the system of government, that somehow or other people are so engaged in getting elected and fighting in politics, but they're meant to rule the country. Half of the effort goes in getting elected and fighting other people. And really someone good comes to do something, then everyone will jump and oppose him, just for the sake of opposing, because people, what's good for them, they won't like it. These are conditioned souls in this planet. They'll not like something which is restricting them or something religious. So the ruler has to put force. But if someone good does and puts force to stop something, then people reject. The other politicians go against him, then they'll go with that person who's going against. Yes. The current ruler of India, as soon as he came, and in his first term, in the beginning, first week, I think, he immediately put a proposal to ban pornography. I remember, it was 2014. Everyone went against him, not everyone, but people went against that. How can you go against that? But people went against it. Finally, the court of this country said no. Okay, why? Freedom of right of, everyone has their right to do what they want. So now, okay, we have laws, we have government, we have a court. But if this is going to make this animal society, then we have to rethink everything. Economy, government law is meant to bring people to proper moral situation, proper human life. But if whatever system we have is now stopping and is going to oppose someone who wants to stop pornography, then there's a big problem. We have to look, we have to see what this system is. And who are the people deciding what is right and wrong? You know, are they watching pornography? They don't want it. We don't know.
No, I see. One
We don't
minister
know.
watching pornography, Hindi minister were in the cabinet.
Oh yeah, that happened once.
That
Yeah,
happened.
yeah. The camera caught within the parliament building, someone was watching. So definitely they may not want it to stop. So now this is the chaos has come about because the people who are ruling, the people who are in government, people who are in the economy, they're not trained. They don't know what they will be people in that category, according to Bhagavad Gita. These classes will be everywhere, but they're not trained to do what they're supposed to. And so now in this system, if someone wants to do something right, they're opposed. There's some big system, there's some big mistake now with this system. Actually, the current ruler, when he wanted to ban that, it makes a lot of sense because crimes against women, where do they start? These videos circulating, pornographic. And so this is one thing. And so all the even Bhakti Shastras, any form of religion, they will seek to establish Varnashram, and all the acharyas will support it. They will support it because it is the way. This is how God wanted it. We are religious means we have to follow God. We have to follow this. Varnasrama acharvata purushena parah puman Vishnur aradhyate pantha nanya tatosha karanam. There is no other way to please Vishnu, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, than by following the process of Varnashram. We have to follow that process. If we are able to follow and establish these laws, then a conducive situation will be in society to practice bhakti, to live, at least to live properly and eat and daily life. When we say, many times it says, actually civilized life begins from Varnashram. Why is that? Because what do we call civilization? First of all, people have to eat. You see, now we have a government in a country, any country in this world, government, people are paying taxes. Now, if people are having problem eating, then what is the point? We have a government, we are paying. First thing is people have to eat, isn't it? First thing. Second, security. People should no one should come and steal from them. This is civilization. Civilization means I should be able to eat, I should have security, not that someone can come and steal things. Or coming back at night and I get attacked by somebody. This is common in any part of the world. So, civilization means there should not be crime, there should be food. Okay, then higher things are there that even to some extent art, culture, this should be there. Culture means how to behave with seniors and juniors, how to behave towards women, how to behave towards children. So that is culture. Culture should be there. So in this way, civilization, what does it mean? It means these things. If Varnashram is not there, you cannot have these things. Propagation of culture. No, now what happened? Everything has gone into money. Education for earning money. What am I going to eat? Choice of food. What is cheap? I'll eat that. That's it. Where will I work? How will I live? How much money am I going to get? Now money has covered everything. Whole life people are studying, and in the day they are spending so much time working. So all energy has gone just to earn money. Why? Because this mismanagement of economy, such that we have to work so hard only to get little food. This is a big mess economy. This is not economy. Economy means proper distribution of wealth. But now to get that food, I have to work so hard. So this is not civilization. It is not. They cannot call this a civilization. Where economy is occupying most of our energy and time. You know, people have the idea, I have to go on money, then I have to get money, then I have to buy things in the shop. No, economy means that give someone land, let him plant the crops and live off the land. This is proper economy. This is proper economy. And proper governance does not mean that everyone should get a gas cylinder. everyone should, get a laptop and a bicycle. No, proper governance means everyone should follow their dharma in varna and ashram. Who will do that? Who is doing that today? So, for civilization to come, it says in Shastra, only when varnashram starts, then civilization starts. Otherwise, there is no civilization. No civilization. Practically, I explained. There will be no economy, no food, no security without varnashram. The first British people who came here said that not a single thief or beggar in this whole country. Their words are recorded. So one has to do varnashram. But why was varnashram stopped? It was stopped because here it says, Sang Siddhir Hari Toshanam. We should do our varnashram duty for pleasure of Krishna, Hari. But it became for their pleasure. That is Asuric varnashram. That had to be stopped. But it should not be removed. It should be properly aligned. Daiva varnashram, which means everyone should be understanding that we should do the order, we should do everything for Krishna. Our role as a Brahmana, it should be to please Krishna. So, if we're going to please Krishna, it means we should not exploit others or discriminate. Otherwise, Krishna won't be happy. Here it says, in each and every one of the above mentioned divisions of life, the aim must be to please the supreme authority of the personality of Godhead. So the problem is that varnashram, the upper castes, they exploited and dominated the lower castes wrongly. But previously it was for millions of years, millions literally, we hear that this system went on without any problem. But the problem started when this exploitation came. So now the system is in ISKCON. We are seeing Devi Varnashram, that everybody should be Krishna conscious and do your duty. So if one does that, then that exploitive tendency won't be there. But the risk is always there. So no one wants to start it. Oh, that if we take a lower position, these higher people will do that. Anyway, that's happening. Now it's happening. Now rich people are dominating, politicians are controlling, that tendency is there. But the hope is that by following Krishna consciousness, the exploitative and negative tendency will be curtailed. But then we have to have it. If we don't have this system, what system will we have? We'll make up some man-made system, and we are not perfect, so the system will not be perfect. If there's a problem with the eye, go to the eye doctor. Don't remove the eye. That's not intelligent. Don't remove the system. So it should be brought back, and as this verse says, everything should be for the pleasure of the Lord. Following brahmacharya, grihastha, how should he follow? How is Krishna wanted me to do it? How? Read Bhagavad Gita, read Bhagavatam, understand. Do your duty properly as a Brahmana. Brahmanas are meant to be compassionate. They have knowledge. They're meant to give out knowledge freely, without money. They're meant to give highest knowledge to the lowest common people. Example is, for example, in first canto here, in one of the purports on birth of Parikshit Maharaj, there they did his birth chart and explained everything about him. So there in the purport, Prabhupada writes that this highest science, Brahmanas knew many art. They would know a little bit of all the sciences, but one of them was that they had to know the Panchang properly. So they could understand at this particular time of day what is good to do or not do, or in this tithi or this. So what they would do is they would knock at the Grihastha's house and bhiksha. So the Grihasthas would be happy that, okay, this person is engaged in spiritual activity, I'll give it some portion, so I'll get that benefit. At the same time, Brahmana gives Gyan. So Gyan means either he'll speak a spiritual instruction, which that's very common, but also they'll take that opportunity and ask him that I want to do this and this, when shall I do it according to this system, according to the planetary alignment. As Prabhupada said, they properly use the stellar influences of the planets, everything. Stellar means regarding the stars. In other words, nakshatra, planets, it derives from the word star. Tar, nakshatra is star. So they would these common people, they would get access to the highest knowledge, which Brahmana, they'll just give it like that. This is a proper society. It was like that. So the system of Varnasrama, even the highest castes, they were meant to be freely, magnanimously giving out knowledge for benefit of society. And those who had strength, they would use it to protect the society, Kshatriyas. So in that way, the system was very perfect and smooth, as it says here. In the Kali Yuga, or in the age of coral, this artificial predominance is already current. If we say we won't establish Varnashram because one caste will rule over the other, it's happening now also. Rich countries are dominating poor countries, really, very badly. And any leader goes against them, they just kill it. It's a very common thing. Within society also. But the saner section of people know it well, that the divisions of castes and orders are meant for smooth social intercourse of society and high thinking self-realization, and not for any other purpose. People understand, actually Varnashram was meant to bring a good situation in society. It was not meant for exploitation. So it requires people to understand. Immediately we criticize, but we should understand it properly. It is, it may take many years, hopefully not, to see that it's the only way for human society to be peaceful. But we should understand it before criticizing and then establish it. Hare Krishna, any question?
I have a question.
Yes.
It's like to understand that Varnashram society is required, so it requires some thought, some thoughtfulness. But the majority of people, they are not thoughtful. So how can we go from thoughtlessness to thoughtfulness? Because people, if we plan to implement Varnashram, then right now it's a democracy. So either way, all people have to be on board, which is not possible. The one majority. Okay, it's just like, okay, we'll shift to Varnashram. So this is the problem. How will it shift from a democratic society to monarchy society?
Okay.
So that
All right. So yeah, okay.
Because people, they are not so much thoughtful, so they'll not see the benefits of Varnashram. So
okay, I'll just repeat. The question is that people in general are not so thoughtful, reading things, understanding, reflecting, but they have certain ideas of their own. And at present it's a democracy, so majority rules, and majority won't be so thoughtful to study and analyze and take it. So they'll not take it, maybe. So how do we change then? Actually, if you study democracy, it started from a person in Greece. His name was Democritus. When he established that system, that time modern Greece, Greece society was functioning under the system of democracy. But not everyone was voting. Who voted? It was the higher section of society. They voted. Higher section means thoughtful people who are educated, who had some ideas, and very wealthy, very intellectuals, philosophers. Okay? Now, I'm just making a point that in that society, there were slaves. They didn't vote. Women didn't vote. And I'm not saying that we should do that. I'm saying if you study, if we are saying we will follow democracy, we will follow democratis, then just analyze what was going on that time. That was what was happening. Not everyone was voting. That was first thing. Now everyone has a vote. This is really, it doesn't make sense. Mass of people, as we'll find, or as it's repeated many times, as any politician knows and any big businessman knows, mass of people are fools. They don't know what's good for them. They'll not think properly, and do. Any businessman knows that. That's why he can sell anything. They know that. And government knows that. I mean, not government, politicians. Okay. So, first of all, that understanding has to be, okay, democracy, yeah, who's supposed to make the decision? How do we shift? Okay, that's an analysis of democracy. What is it really? It's not that every single person who can walk and talk is given a vote, and So, first thing is, through wide book distribution, ideas have to be propagated. This has to happen. Distribution of books, of Srila Prabhupada's books, which properly explain what is Sanatana Dharma, what is Varnashram Dharma, really what it is and why it should be established. This should be propagated widely through book distribution, through talks, like that. But on the other side, leaders of men should be preached to. Leaders are, well, for example, in educational institutions, future leaders are there. Thoughtful people are in colleges. They'll become, especially the certain subjects, professors, students, they should be preached to. Gradually, ideas has to come around. In Britain, there was a Sunday. In Sunday, they'll say, they refer to the Sunday roast. That means on Sunday, what do we do? Sunday roast. It means they'll have the meat, and it'll be roast meat with boiled potato. They have some traditional food. So they always refer to as the Sunday roast. Okay, meat eating was heavy. It is still a big thing. But at least as of, I remember in 2002, 7% of Britain was vegetarian. And there was a lot of, how did this happen? How is it happening? But we know it happened because of distribution of books of Prabhupada. So ideas can change by book distribution and propagating ideas in society. A country like Britain, where there is no concept of vegetarian before, no concept. They now 7% vegetarian and vegans, and that was then. Now it must be much higher. And now some people are militant, physically, violently, they're trying to stop meat eating by attacking slaughterhouses and all these things. So how to change the mind? Through dissemination of ideas, through book distribution and lectures. That's one. Second, by targeting leaders of society. We just have to make the point, okay? And if leaders change, so lower section changes. Example, there was one marathon runner. He was known as the fastest man in the world. And they found out, this person is vegetarian. Oh, he's vegetarian. Oh, how possible? All the news went around. And I'm sure anyone want to be now fastest runner in the world will think, I should be vegetarian. This is the idea. Or some famous film star, this person is vegetarian. So people follow leaders. We have to change leaders. That's one thing. So changing leaders, common people follow. Yad yad acharati shreshta tatad evetaro jana sa yad pramanam kurute lokas tadanuvartate. This is in Bhagavad Gita. Gradual process.
So there would be some point, because from democracy to monarchy.
No, this is a gradual process. It's gradual. You see, there was a time in France and in Russia, monarchy was there. And they had a strong hold. No one can dream of opposing them. But because they were misguided and exploitative, the day came, then both countries, what happened? They took all of these rulers and cut off their heads, one by one. And then they went, and even what they call bourgeois in France. Bourgeois means upper aristocracy. In England you have lords, not the government, but other people who own big land and who are descendant from big families. Yeah, maybe like that. So they cut off all their heads. Guillotine. It was famous time. So Russia, the last ruling family, they shot everyone at once. All family, grandfather and kid, baby, everyone. They said we have to remove the trace of this royal family. So how did it happen that they had such a hold, everyone respected, everything came to this point? Gradually, it happened. So gradually, it can be brought back. Gradually, the idea has to spread, ideas have to change. Of course, you can do suddenly by violent, but that's not going to last. People have to understand, then idea will stay. Same in China. Everywhere the government is different, it was gradual change. Gradually, we'll bring it back.
So, if book distribution, if you target the highly intellect people, college professors, thinkers, that will be.
Srila Prabhupada set up a party to go, the library party. They put books in libraries, and yeah, but they were also putting in schools, colleges, libraries. And many letters are there of Prabhupada. He's saying how we have to target this educated class. You know, for example, we are saying youth preaching or college preaching. This was very much recommended by Prabhupada. He said that these are the future, our future leaders will come from here, for this society. Of course, it doesn't mean you have to go to college. There are many leaders now who are not in college. But the idea is that anyone who thinks they're intelligent, you know. But of course, the day has to come also when we have to stop those education institutions to propagate our principles. But where's our what do you say, raw material coming from? We go there to get them. That's where they're going now. So we take them out. But yeah, Prabhupada said this point, that college preaching is essential. Not that colleges are good, and not that mundane education is good, but the people are there. We target them because they're in a position where maybe society. Yeah. Hare Krishna. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.